welcome back to my Nantwich town on the Upsave. I'm Dugout Man. I'd like to just remind you where we were last time we were here. You saw my team take an absolute pounding, losing 4-2, and we were lucky to get the 2 goals in truth against Ashton United. Since then, it's not got much better, I'm afraid. Josh Gordon got us a goal as we drew 1-1 with Colwyn Bay. We were a little bit unlucky to lose to Stourbridge, and then we were absolutely worked over by Workington. A good win against Ilkeston, who were above us in the league and still are above us in the league. 2-1 with Josh Gordon and Matty Bell on the score sheet. Josh Hancock gave us the lead against Matlock, but equalised for us against Matlock, but in a game which we dominated, we were unable to find the winner. And then finally, Ramsbottom, a team we should have absolutely torn apart. We managed to fall 2-0 down against them. We did come back in the second half to 2-2 and really should have gone on to win from there. Ramsbottom having a player sent off late on as well. So, very disappointing results. We need a few more victories, so I've had to mess around with the tactics very quickly. We're going to try a diamond shape just today. It's the very first time I've tried it. I've been training it for a couple of weeks, but because of matches being cancelled, we've had to change it around. Now, the reason I'm rushing through this is because I wanted to introduce you to our now much stronger squad. We had a scout report come back on our affiliate team Crew, and there was now several players available for loan. I tried to loan players earlier in the season, and they weren't interested because they didn't think we were good enough a team for them to play for. But obviously, a lot of the 16-year-olds have become 17, have been given contracts, and now they're available for loan. So we've strengthened our squad with them. Most of them are on the bench today. We'll see if we can bring 2 or 3 of them on over the course of the match, just to see how they get on. But really great to see. So we've got Harry Pickering, 12 passing, 11 technique, 11 pace, 11 acceleration. He just seems an okay player. I'm not expecting tremendously brilliant players. They're only 17 at the end of the day. Owen Dale, he's a striker. Now Owen Dale, he's got 11 dribbling, 11 pace. He looks like he could cause a few problems up front if he can get the ball at his feet. Then we've got TJ Culpepper, what a name. He's central defender. Not a great deal to speak about with that really. His teamwork really is his best attribute there. A lot of ones, headings 8, markings 10, tackling's only 5. So there's a lot of work to go with that young man. But he's in the squad. He gives us an extra player to choose. Then we've got Luke Wally. He's a right winger. 10 pace, just borderline on okay. 10 passing. Technique of 11. Teamwork 14. Flair. Most of these need work on their determination, to be honest. But they're only going to be here for sort of 10 games or so, so it's not a great rush for making these better. And then the last one, Morgan Jones, he looks a really decent striker actually. A little slow, 7 pace, 9 acceleration, 11 finishing, 11 first touch, 14 teamwork, 11 work rate, concentration 1. Anyway, but yeah, Morgan Jones, he looks about the best of the bunch really for what we've got, but certainly him and Harry Pickering could be quite useful. I'm not going to start any of them today, but more importantly, we've had a youth regen day, and if we look at the potential we have in the squad, it's actually looking really good now. We've got, what is that, six players who have got 5-star ability. Dominic Curtis, like I say, the stats are not going to be anything special at the moment. They're 16 years old, but certainly he's the best of what we've got. And again, it's a right winger, 11 pace, dribbling's okay, crossing's very poor. We're going to have to work on that. determination again, something that we'll have to work on. These ones I will get tutored because certainly within the next couple of seasons they're going to be called upon unless we start progressing through the leagues very quickly. I don't intend to spend dramatically, so I wouldn't expect a massive influx of players for next season. But I do want to improve on the players that we've got. The great thing about these guys is that they're not going to be costing us more than a few quid a week, and that's quite important. And if somebody comes in for them as well, we will also get some money for them. So this is Nigel Rawlinson, a keeper who, again, he actually looks pretty decent. He's still got a long way to go. We may not see these for a couple of seasons, but who knows? They might prove to be the salvation of the club in the long run. So the reason I want to rush, I've got all that out of the way, and that's because I wanted to try this new tactic today against a team that we've already played 5 times this season, and we're going to play them again. It's Hyde, and so far they've beaten us once in the cup. We've drawn twice and won one, and here we go again. For the 5th time this season, we're going to go with our narrower formation. I noticed that they've changed their formation. I was expecting them to play their usual formation. So what we've got a poacher, an advanced forward, and an attacking playmaker who is on attack. All these are attacking players. Then we've got a defensive ball-winning midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder who is going to fill this gap here, and a ball-winning midfielder who's solely on defence. Actually, I should have put him on support really, but never mind. We'll see how we go with that. Our form really needs to improve and pick up just to stop us slipping below the mid-table position that we're expected to forgive. Another thing to mention is that I'm a wanted man. There's been 2 or 3 teams sacked, a couple from this division, a division higher, and also from the Welsh Premier League. Newport, I think, was the team. All of them sacking managers, and it seems to be that I'm the wanted man. I'm the favourite for the jobs. I won't be applying for them because whilst I don't envisage this being solely a Nantwich Town save, I would like to achieve something with Nantwich Town, at least sort of get them up a division or 2 before I would even consider leaving for greater things. So the object of this tactic is clearly possession. We'll see how we go, and we can't expect immediate results. If we lose a couple of games to start with, it will be disappointing. But I just wanted to give us a tactic where we actually had control of the game rather than playing on the counter attack like we have been with the other tactics. The tactic that's made way is the 3-5-2, simply because apart from when we've played Hyde, the 3-5-2 hasn't really worked. So we've scrapped that one for now and moved on to this one. I will go from and see how this one works. And if this doesn't work, we'll look for another tactic. But certainly the 4-4-2s, they're working to a degree, but we're just not holding off teams. If we score 2, they score 2. And so that's our biggest challenge. So let's see how we go. We're 15 minutes in. There's not been a whole lot happening. It will be a tactic that's a little bit like that. A lot of possession, but not a lot of chances. So let's see how we do with this. So 20 minutes in, and at the moment it has to be said, it has been all Hyde, and the guy who's scored about 25 goals, and I'm sure most of them have been against us, scores again. Scott Spencer, I mean, it's a great run, but the defending is shocking, in truth. So 27 minutes in, another highlight, looks again to be a Hyde highlight. I think we could be on the wrong side of a hiding at the moment. And again, absolutely terrible defending and goalkeeping. And that's 2-0. This could get very embarrassing very quickly. Should have stuck with the other tactic. I don't quite know what Johnny Vegas was doing there. I think he saw himself as a comedian. Highlight straight from the kickoff. Smith to Osborne to Hancock. Can he spread it out wide? He does, but not the direction I was expecting. Brownhill got a wicked cross on him. Osborne. Brownhill. Can he put the ball in the middle? He puts the ball in the middle. It's gone in, and I think it's an own goal. Harris own goal. That will do. Anything to put us back in the game. And I mean, actually, looking at the way the tactic worked there, the players on the wide outside, coming from the defensive areas, had an awful lot of space, and maybe that is something that we can exploit with this tactic. If we can pull teams into the middle and then come round from the outside, I think that could be quite fruitful. So we'll have to see if there's a way of exploiting that over the course of tweaks with this tactic, because it might just be the key to us actually curbing all these goals we're conceding and providing ourselves with a good attacking base. So here we are, half time. No more highlights since the last one, but we've got to say that we're not happy with the way things are going. I do want to just tinker with the tactics a little bit. Let's go to the main tactics screen when the computer starts responding. So what we'll do is we'll switch our fullbacks to wing backs. We'll change our instructions. So let's take that off. We certainly don't want pass into space just yet. Retain possession is on. Perhaps we need to close down a little bit more and bring the pace up just a little bit. So let's just take the players slightly further away from each other as well. That may or may not have a bit of an effect, but the trouble is we should be dominating possession, and we're actually had less possession with this tactic than we have been in with the 4-4-2 tactics. So will the second half be any better than the first half? We've got a 2-1. We're still in the game. It's not over. We've got to think positive with it, and sort of in the next 10-15 minutes we'll start seeing the introduction of some of our new players. So here we go. Straight into the second half, and it looks like we're carrying on where we were the first half. Gray about to cross the ball in for Hyde, and an easy finish for Masterson. Something about this defensive frailty on crosses. We've got to be able to do something to stop it. I mean, Moran Moran is really poor, and he's coming off. So who have we got? Culpepper looked absolutely terrible, but he can't be any worse than Moran. And Morgan Jones, he looked like a decent striker, didn't he? So Chris Speed's not done very well today, so a couple of 17-year-old lads to come on and show the men how to play. So we're over an hour in now and not a lot's happening, so we'll bring Pickering on for Sam Hall. Just another young player to come on. Hopefully we can get some kind of highlight in this game. So we're into the last 5 minutes, absolutely nothing happening. We're neither looking likely to concede or score. It's very disappointing. So the final highlight of the game, I don't think it'll lead into a goal, but even if it does, it's irrelevant. And a poor performance, especially since Hyde are actually on the verge of the relegation places. So not the best of starts with that. We won't even bother making a comment on the performance. They know how bad they were. A couple of days' time, we played Buxton, who are 5th. We'll persist with the same tactic just for one more game for now, and then we'll revert back to the 4-4-2 if it's a dramatic failure. But we've got to start getting some results soon. The form has dropped off so badly that we could end up seeing ourselves not so much pulled into relegation. I think we're already safe from that, but certainly we need to pull ourselves back into the top half of the table. Otherwise, the board might start looking at the form that we're in and decide that we're not actually good enough to manage the club. And it would be a real shame on the first proper transfer window not to be able to sign your free transfer players that are going to make all the difference. This season we've been really restricted simply by the amount of players who are taking up 20% of our wage budget, and so they're out of contract at the end of the season. We'll get rid of them. We'll bring in sort of like 8 or 9 players who are on less money but equally as capable, if not better, and hopefully that will make us a much stronger squad. We've got the youth players coming through. I think next season will be a much better season. Yeah, Gainsborough have sacked Howsham, and we're favourites for the job. And they are in the Vanarama North National League. So again, favourite for another job. And am I favourite? Yes, I'm favourite also for Solihull. So I'm a wanted man, even though we're not doing very well at the moment. Clearly somebody is recognising my abilities, even if these players aren't. Okay, so Buxton are in 5th place. They've gone for a 4-5-1, very defensive looking formation. We've made a few changes. We brought Casilo and Jones in for the 2 attackers. We brought Pickering in to the centre of midfield. Culpepper's going to get a start today, and I think that's all the changes. Let's get straight on with the game. So this is the first time all season really that we've started from below the top half of the table. We're in 13th position. We're playing against 5th. They're playing very defensively, so I'm sort of hopeful that we can perhaps just sneak a little result here just to keep us up in the top to mid-table positions, and hopefully springboard ourselves for the final 10 games of the season just to pick up a few more points and push ourselves as high up the league as possible. I'm beginning to think that this season is not going to be a playoff season, so I'm going to give the youngsters more and more of an opportunity. I may even bring some of the better young players who have just come through the Regen Day a go, just to see how they fare. But not totally giving up on the season yet, but I do want to see something different. Definitely want to see something different. Okay, so rather embarrassingly, I've just realised that having recorded the rest of the game, that it was paused. So you missed all the, I don't know how much of the action. So what we'll do is quickly we'll just view the highlights of the goals. We did play really well. Oh, it's so ridiculous. I've been chatting away to nobody. So that was a Hancock goal, which we'd already messed up that bit. And Johnny Vegas with a long kick out. Pickering, Hancock to Bell, to Bailey. This is the possession that we've been talking about. We wanted to dominate the possession, use the guys on the overlap. It was a terrible save by Barnes. Some of this you may have seen already. Like I say, I don't know where or when I managed to pause the game. So as I go through the editing, I suppose I'll find out. But I don't want you to miss the goals in what was an actually quite excellent finish to the game. We've controlled the game from the start, and what looked like a dangerous attack from Buxton very quickly became a Hancock through ball to Speed. Speed would collect it, and all the time in the world just to chip it. And Casilo, with the composure on the volley, made it 3-0, and a really good win against a team high flying in the league. It's left us in 12th, 9 points from the playoffs, and really quite a lot to look forward to. But we've got 11 games to try and rescue this season. As I was saying before I realised and pressed record, we've actually only got 5 more points to reach my minimum expectations for the season, and we've got 11 games to spare. So I'm really pleased with how that's going, at least, and hopefully this will be the catalyst for an improved form. Just thanks for watching. Hopefully next episode we'll cover if not the run into the season, if it's just going to be a mid-table finish, then what we'll do is we'll just play the last game, have a season review, and then it'll be all about the transfers for next season. But for now, we'll see how we go. If it's looking like we could potentially get into the playoffs, then we might watch a couple of other games as well. But thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. God bless.